I would like to talk about something that there is of yet no indication of happening, but which I would like to propose people keep an open mind to. In about 1994 to 1996, there was a woman on the Oprah Winfrey show. Now, I didn't see that show, so I'm going on a second-hand account here of what my best friend told me that year, or around that time, telling me about this particular show on Oprah. Sarah is still my best friend, and she is an angel of the light and an absolute blessing and inspiration on this planet. And never, in 25 years, have I heard anyone suggesting otherwise. Pure angel. So anyway, in this Oprah episode, there was a psychic on. From memory, she'd had a severe accident, and when she came to from this accident, she suddenly had all these psychic powers. So obviously her powers were proven enough to nab a spot on the Oprah Winfrey show. This psychic had a lot of planetary predictions, including one of the coasts of America going underwater. I can't remember if it was east or west, but I have an inkling it was west. And psychic predictions for Australia, including that the west coast was going to burn. And yes, we have significantly less rainfall these days and trees are dying. Whole forests are dying. The east coast would be flooding, she said, and yes, this has been happening increasingly over the last 5 years or more. And if you missed it on the news, it was all burning in January 2020, but within a week, the east coast was suddenly flooded. And the psychic also said in the middle of Australia, it was going to go green. So it's been currently desert forever. But I have been observing rainfall charts, and indeed, where we have declined 100 mils or so in rain on the west coast, parts of inland Australia, where she says are going to go green, have increased about 100 mils. And these are averages, changing significantly over the past 5 to 10 years. So the reason my best mate telling me about this show stuck in my head was because of a further prediction that this psychic made, and it was quite a bizarre one. And that prediction was matched by the thoughts of my first long-term boyfriend, who I was with from about age 20 to 25. He told me that he had known since he was a young boy, from about the age of 10 or 12, that people would start to turn blue. Well, I said that's exactly what this psychic said on the Oprah Winfrey show. And so it stuck in my head. This psychic said people would start to turn blue, but it was all okay because it was going to do much to erase racism on our planet. Okay, so people turning blue, Smurfland, bring it on. I reckon the cosmetic companies are going to be all over this one. Why on earth would people start to turn blue? Let's look at the number one likely scenario. Asphyxiation. Let's take a look here at a chart from skepticalscience.com. I quote, "Confirmation comes by measuring oxygen levels in the atmosphere. When fossil fuels are burned, the carbon in the fossil fuels are joined to oxygen, creating carbon dioxide. As CO2 increases in the atmosphere, oxygen decreases. Observations show oxygen levels are falling at a rate consistent with the burning of fossil fuels." So it makes perfect sense to me, and I believe that yes, indeed, people on the planet may start to turn blue soon. In 2 to 4 years would be my estimate maximum. This boyfriend who suggested this to me, and he's now a friend across the seas, living and married in South Korea, running an English school. He was also responsible for a spiritual awakening in me of sorts while we were together. Immediately when I began dating him, I was introduced to the blue star. That's another story in itself, and I hope to find the 30-page manuscript I wrote about that at the time, and I will read it online when I find it, if it's around. I have not seen the blue star for 16 years. However, I saw it frequently when I was with this man, and he had seen it for many years. After we broke up, the next guy I was seeing briefly was also a witness of the blue star, which he'd seen before he'd met me as well. It's not an angel or fairy flash sort of light or star, but I have seen those as well, and this is different. At the moment, I'm not going to scour the internet looking for evidence because there is so very little on it. It is an awakener, and it culminates in huge experiences, which I'll go into detail in a future clip. The closest I've ever found to any description on this blue star was years ago online. Someone had written about their experience, I believe within Hinduism. I believe Hinduism might have some texts about the blue star. This person described it in their blog in the same way that we saw it. And in my own words, I'm going to say, similar to how they said it, the blue star is like the entire universe is inside of it. So you can see it just for a moment. Say you harness in your thoughts right now as much of a perception as you can of our Earth and our solar system and our galaxy, all combined together to come down to one pinpoint of a bright blue star that comes into a room for a moment, or it appears on the body, and it often appeared on the face of my ex. And then it disappears. So it's just there for moments. It's like seeing the entire universe in a pinprick, and then it's gone. I remember the day I began seeing it clearly, and it was distinctly related to when I began sleeping with this boyfriend. The guy afterwards I had a brief fling with, he often used to see the blue star on his massage clients. With him, it also erupted into a sort of big event. It's all about communication, the blue, and that's what the blue star is no exception. I don't know if either of those guys still see the blue star, but I will ask them before I upload my clip on it. I don't believe the blue star is related to blue star Kachina. I've looked a little bit into the Hopi prophecies, I believe, but it may be. I'm just one human trying to perceive the greatness of it. It might all be combined. Does the blue star have anything to do with people turning blue? Absolutely no idea on any of that. If you think this is a bit of a balmy story, then so be it. But things are getting really heightened on our planet right now. And all I can say is expect the unexpected. I don't know the psychic's name, sorry, from Oprah Winfrey show. I have looked and I have looked and I have looked and I have not found that show. There are a lot of psychic shows of Oprah's shows from the 90s that have been uploaded. She's got some archives there, but I cannot find this particular woman. I would love it if somebody knew of this woman's name so I could look a little further into this. I'd love to hear any of your experiences related to blue, anything related to blue, in your thoughts and comments below. One love, signing out, peace.